All right, excellent. So good afternoon to everyone. And we're bringing home the tail end. I hope it's a really engaging presentation. I hope everyone's had a great day. So my name's Paul Steer. I am the ANZ HRD, newly appointed to my role, so 2 months in. But I have worked for L'Oreal for the last 8.5 years. And with me is...
I'm Lillian. I am the TA and development lead for campus. So I look after all of our grads, interns, work experience students, and my role is to go out onto campus and speak to students like yourself. I've been at the company for about 3 years now, and going on to almost my 4th year.
So again, we've got a presentation here today, which I'll run through more about the company culture and who L'Oreal is to give you an overview of that. Lily will then take you through what a management trainee program looks like at L'Oreal and how we go about that process. I have a lot of slides, as potentially does Lily. We're going to try and get through them relatively quickly because if there is some questions, we're very happy to take those towards the end. So from my point of view, drive here. So just to give you the people vision of L'Oreal, which is invent the most inclusive, innovative and inspiring people-driven company to create the beauty that moves the world. Now, this is a really interesting people vision for us because it's only just come to light in the last year, and you'll see it's behind me and some of the signage we've got there. But it is driving what has been over 100 years of history with our company, which our company is people-orientated and people-focused. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. But if clearly you want to find out more about L'Oreal than what you can in this sort of 20-minute session you have, Connect with Us, there's a lot of forums you can go onto. I listed them, a few of them there, and there's also just an Instagram local account that gives you a really good flavour of what L'Oreal Australia in particular looks at. So here it is, create the beauty that moves the world. We just want to make sure that people clearly understand from a L'Oreal perspective that it's not just about what people consider to be model beauty or the certain image that they think beauty represents. It's about obviously making sure people look good, they feel good, and when they feel good, people do well. So we want to make sure that people understand that it's about confidence. It's about how you individualize and interpret your individual self to the world and how you give yourself the best sense of confidence and individual presentation that you can. It's not necessarily about what people historically thought beauty was strictly. In regards to that, there's a lot of elements that fall into this create the beauty that moves the world. Things like our diversity, equity and inclusion, our sustainability, our ethics mindset. So again, you can research a lot of that and how our business operates. From my perspective, just to give you a few key facts, 88,000 employees globally. In Australia, we are around 1,000. In New Zealand, we're around 200. Top 50 company for market capitalisation globally, almost $30 billion in sales in euro, 7 billion products sold every year, operating in 150 countries, and obviously a large amount of consumers. Lots of people, when they consider L'Oreal, just think of L'Oreal Paris or L'Oreal Professionnel as the brands. However, we do like people to know we have 36 global brands, 24 of those present in Australia, about 21 of them present in the New Zealand business, and a lot of those brands there, many of you will know, and others will find it quite surprising to see some of those brands fit in our portfolio. Again, just to give people a context around what L'Oreal is, we're very well known as a marketing company. It is our historical roots, but we are changing that. We have now got over 4,100 researchers across 60 disciplines. So again, from a R&I and scientific investment, obviously L'Oreal is heavily invested in this space and have a number of programs again, around getting particularly women into STEM, but making sure that we have those researchers and those patents that develop the beauty business and go on to other avenues to be used across different disciplines as well. Obviously, beauty is a high-tech industry. So again, we want to make sure that people understand that it's more than just a regime that someone may do or they think of. It's about how we future-proof this business. We make sure that we use data science and everything for the example like our scientists have done, which is they've built reconstructed skin, so there's no longer testing required on animals. And I'm sure some of you have questions around stuff like that about working for L'Oreal, and we're very happy to answer those questions as well. Again, we want to be a digital first company. So, there's 7.4 billion L'Oreal videos viewed on YouTube, and 25% of our sales are now done on e-com, along with those trillions of selfies. So again, digital itself is very visual, like the beauty industry. So there's really nice synergies there for us to play into as a corporation. We want to make sure that we are focused on digital and tech. So again, this is where the graduate program, we like to have people understanding that you're not just joining to specifically do marketing or commercial roles. It's a much broader spectrum these days than it has been even 5 or 8 years ago. And Lily will talk to that more as a program in a couple of minutes. From my point of view, I just want to take my last few slides to get through these, but sustainability at the core of what we do. We've been a leader in this area and recognised globally. We are participating strongly and have a strong sustainability program that again features into our Create the Beauty that Moves the World. Beauty is multicultural. So again, for those of you who are looking for a values-orientated company, we're strongly centred around our diversity and inclusion. We want to make sure that the people that work for us, the people represent the people that we sell to. So our market dynamic is incredibly important to us to make sure we represent that in our organisations as well. And again, truly a diverse and inclusive company with 160 nationalities represented and #1 in gender equality, which is obviously very important to us when we are a high female orientated company. Actually, in Australia, our leadership team is over 50% women, and our actual board, C-suite members is 50-50, which is a really strong position for us to have and claim. The culture of L'Oreal, I'll do this really quickly. It's organised chaos. So again, if you are after a very structured, process-orientated business, L'Oreal may not be for you, but it's something that we do challenge people to work within, and it's a really interesting place to work because of that. So the entrepreneurial mindset and the ability to create what you want to stand for, your legacy in a role, is really your opportunity space. So it's the freedom to go beyond what you do. We look for people who can stretch their roles, can go and grow every day. So learning agility is a really high component for us of how you operate. Freedom to explore any path. So for example, my history is not a HR manager or a HR career. I come from a commercial track. So I've worked across a couple of different companies in very commercially and buying focused roles and transitioned to a HR career with L'Oreal 6 years ago. So again, that is where we have runs on the board that we diversify careers and allow people to express and explore different areas. We expect you to challenge the status quo, and ultimately our employees are very proud to work at L'Oreal. So 87% of employees are very proud to say they work here, which is well above the average of other companies. To talk to more so what Lily will connect with, this is what we look at for your future at L'Oreal. I've mentioned a couple of these words, learning agility being very high for us. So we like curious people who can make a difference and decide where they make a difference. We love ambition and resilience. Good judgment, so balancing that intuition and the analysis to cut through things, and the empathy. So the people connection is really important to us of how you play your part in your role and build the community of L'Oreal. So for me, that basically summarises where we're at from we want L'Oreal ANZ to be creating the beauty that moves the world, and beauty is your authentic self and how you represent that. I'm going to pass over to Lily to continue on. Thanks, Lily.
No, for sure. Thanks, Paul. So I'll speak to you all about our student opportunities that we currently have in the business. Good timing, because our management trainee program, which is our graduate program, has just opened for applications. And there's a QR code there if you'd like to read more on the description. But in essence, it is a graduate program for people who have graduated from their undergraduate or master's degree within the last 2 years from 2023, so as of next year. The program is a year-long program, so at the moment 12 months long, and you will do 6 monthly rotations across any function and any division or one of the 26 brands of the Australian or New Zealand team. You will have hands-on field experiences, so we do about 2 weeks of work in the field alongside our field staff, and then you get a really structured learning pathway. So this includes a full week of induction in the beginning of your program, and then also a learning week, which is a catered development program for you mid-year, a chance for you to learn a little bit more about yourselves and also develop your professional and soft skills. Following the program, you are placed in a permanent role in the business. Now, the graduate program is a permanent position in our business, but because you're doing this in 6 monthly rotations, you're not actually doing a real permanent job yet. So following the end of your grad program, you will be placed somewhere in the business which aligns to your aspirations and your skill set. So applications are currently open and they close on April 3rd of 2022. So get in there early if you want to apply. The process is following your application, you will receive a CM1 test. This is our Certified Marketers Test, which is a global mandatory requirement for all our management trainees to complete, even if you're not within marketing. And this is because we want to make sure that you have sensitivity to what's happening out in the market, and also because you'll be working with a lot of marketing people, and you don't necessarily have to do marketing to pass this test. Following that, you will be invited to complete a video interview and then an assessment center, which will be in person for the first time in 2 years. And following the assessment center, you will be, which will take place at the end of May, you will be either offered or invited to come in for another interview. So that's our management trainee program. And in terms of the career paths and what kind of graduates we look for, we don't discriminate against any degrees. You can study anything that you'd like, but if you have an interest in any of these areas, then we are looking for you. So we recruit people within marketing, commercial, and corporate excellence. Within each of these fields has more subdivisions and teams and specialized roles. And these can come within marketing in the form of digital, brand marketing, PR and comms, or CRM. And then within the commercial space, we have account management, your traditional sales account management, as well as your e-commerce and online sales, and then business development and category development. And finally, corporate excellence, which is what we call it, is our corporate team, which consists of supply chain, data analytics, HR, finance, IT, and pretty much anything that you'd find in another FMCG company. So once you come in as a graduate, you're not defined in what role you're going to be rolling off to or what function you're coming in as. You'll get to experience a few different functions to really find your area of expertise. Now, the graduate program is, I have to make this clear that it is only open to Australian permanent residents and citizens currently, but we do have opportunities for international students as well. And this comes in the form of Branson. If you haven't heard of it before, Branson is our ultimate innovation competition, which this year is our 30th year anniversary. And it is for students who are passionate about the topics of digital, innovations, sustainability, or inclusion, because that's what this year's topic is around. You will get to gain business insights from our function leaders. You'll get to come into the L'Oreal head office and pitch to our senior leaders, such as Paul. And then you'll also get the chance to go to Paris and pitch your idea to the global team and win an entrepreneurship mission in Paris, all expenses paid for by L'Oreal. So if this is something of interest to you, the only eligibility criteria is that you have to be a student studying at an ANZ university, enrolled in a course, and you will have to register by 25th of March 2022, and you have to have at least you have to have 3 students within your team. Where does these opportunities take you? Well, I've got some examples here of some success stories within our business. Stephanie Deman actually participated in Branson in 2019, and she got to fly over to Paris. She heard about Branson through her university, decided to take a chance and do the experience. She actually won the national competition. She didn't win the international, but she secured a place in our 2020 MT program, where she did a rotation within La Roche-Posay, as well as a rotation within, I believe, in CPD, so within our consumer products division. Following her 2 rotations, she's now rolled off into the SkinCeuticals team within our Active Cosmetics division as an assistant product manager. And she's still there today, really enjoying her time working with the global team on different projects for SkinCeuticals, which is a relatively new brand within our Australian market. Hilary is someone who didn't do Branson, but did come through the graduate program through the traditional application pathway. And her experience at L'Oreal has been a little bit different, but she has really enjoyed her first week in Discovery last year. And this is 1 week where you get to know the 20-something other MTs within your cohort, and then get to meet your manager and be immersed into the business. So really get to know our 4 divisions. And then she had her first rotation in L'Oreal Luxe and her second rotation in CPD. So her highlight has been hosting the Luxe division update, which was only in her 3rd month of the business. So that's something we really like to do, is throw people in the deep end, but we want to look for those resilient graduates to be part of our business, and for those who really, really want a long-term career at L'Oreal. And then finally, Stephen, who is a little bit more of a veteran of our business. He also did Brandstorm quite a while ago, quite a few years ago, and through that he secured a position in our management trainee program. What's interesting about Stephen's journey is that he actually got to go to DMI, which is in Paris, which is our Direct Marketing International, I guess that stands for, where our guidelines for marketing and brand development come from. And he got to be the international project manager for La Roche-Posay in France. And this was a experience that took him to Paris, and he stayed there for about 2 years in a new location, completely new role, and then came back as the marketing manager for SkinCeuticals in Melbourne. So he's actually Steph Demand's manager now. But a really great success story, and this is where Brandstorm and our management trainee program can take you. Of course, there are opportunities outside of marketing as well. These are just some of the examples.
Nothing coming through. We're happy to take questions if they're there, but if they're not, happy for you to reach out and speak with either of us as well.
Happy to connect on LinkedIn with anyone that would like to. Our names are there.
We just had a question come through, actually, if you want to. Yeah, so the question was actually, are there any specific skills or knowledge that you would expect a graduate to have?
So for us, it's not about the specific technical skill set, because obviously, like I referenced, it's about learning agility. So smart, capable, confident people can learn and be taught new things. So hence why Lily referenced, we don't take graduates from a specific discipline or degree. We take it from any degree. So therefore, what we're looking for is your ability to be adaptable to our business, learn within our business, have ambition to want to work with our business. So it's about your future potential, not your current skill set, because you'll get great mentors here, you'll get great on-job experience, you'll get great exposure. All that can happen at L'Oreal. It's about what's possible, not what you've done. Hopefully that answers the question. Yeah,
absolutely does. And thanks, Gabriel, for asking that. We did have one more come through and got a bit of time, so I'll let you guys answer it. And it's a question around what you find most meaningful about your work at L'Oreal. And that was by Madeline.
Thanks for your question, Madeline. I think for me personally, my role that I'm specifically in is, I guess, very important for young talent when they're coming into the business. I have direct impact on what their careers start with, and then also helping them, guide them through their first corporate role. Makes me feel a little bit more, makes me feel really accomplished at the end of the day when they've had a good day. So seeing them develop is something that I really appreciate, and yeah, that's meaningful for me.
Yeah. And for me, it's pretty straightforward. It's all around people, but I'll differentiate it slightly. My career has always been leading large people teams, and it wasn't until I started to understand that I wanted to go on a HR track and change my career across to HR, which, as I said, L'Oreal allowed for. So I got to follow my passion, which was very much about how I work with people, engage people, grow people, but unblock things more so. So my leadership position now is how do I make people enabled and capable to do the best they can do. That goes through so many different forms. It can be unlocking a process for them. It can be making them feel included. It can be connecting them with other people, but it's all about how I enable people to do their work really well and feel like they just want to come back tomorrow and do better. That's my job.
Yeah. To add to that as well, there's a few more questions, but just quickly, I think also the fact that, you know, the bigger mission and strategy of L'Oreal, the fact that we actually care about sustainability and care about our planet makes me feel good that I'm working for a company that is striving towards that.